Welcome back to Tactical Bass, and Matt Allen here. What I wanted to talk to you about today was more of the swimbait mentality. It's wintertime now. It's wide open swimbait season. This is the time of year where it's going to happen if you're going to do it. So what I wanted to talk to you about was, stepping all the way back from the very beginning, how to actually do this. I'm going to do it in a few videos. Should put them out on the website very quickly, but to begin, I just want to talk a little bit about the mental side of this thing. Naturally, I don't like catching 1 or 2 fish a day, or worse yet, no fish a day, trip after trip after trip. I'm one of those people who likes to go out and catch a ton of fish. I'm even okay with a ton of little fish. But on the days where I really want to get out there and catch a giant, it's just a mental decision before the trip ever starts that I'm going to do that. And as long as I make that break in my mind, I'm okay going out there knowing I may not get a bite, or I'm going to get 1 or 2 bites or 5 bites, but it's not going to be as many. Now later on in the year, I'll go throw a swim bait fully expecting 40, 50 bites a day, but this time of year when I'm fishing for the giants, I'm not looking for very many bites. You just have to make that mental separation ahead of time. You're out there for a big fish. Now, what does it take to get started? Some of this is basic. For people that throw swim baits, obviously this is the very, very beginning. You already know this information. But for those of you that are wanting to catch your first swim bait fish, or maybe you caught 1 or 2 random ones, but you don't really know why, you want to start targeting them. The first thing to help with that mental aspect is to only take 1 rod out on your boat. Or if you're a bank fisherman, only take 1 rod with you. Do you need to buy a swim bait rod on the first day? No. Would it help you? Yes. Do you need to? No. Swim bait fishing is not for everybody. A lot of people think it sounds like fun, think they can do it, they go out and spend a bunch of money, and then they find out they like catching fish too much. It is hard work. It's difficult. So I don't recommend it. I would say go out there, put some time in, then buy the right gear. Now you do need a stout rod, but I'm not telling you to this is the perfect rod. I'm just saying that for a little while you can get by until you decide if this is something you want to do. I would say start with anything over about 7.5 feet. A flipping stick. I mean, ideally, swim bait rod, you want an 8-foot rod. You want a good heavy action, a very, very stout rod. But for now, 6.5 foot or longer. Preferably a stout rod, but a good slow taper to it, a lot of bend in the rod, and you're going to be okay to at least get a feel for it. So just go out there with 1 rod. That's it. The 1 rod, 1 bait mentality, and you're going to have a lot better shot. Because otherwise what will happen, and I did this for 3 years. See, when I got started, there wasn't a lot of information online teaching us how to do this stuff. For 3 years, I would go out fishing, and when the bite got tough, I would go, you know what? Maybe now's a good time to throw the swim bait. I'm not catching fish anyway. And I'd pick up, it was a Castaic 9-inch hardhead trout, and I would go out and start throwing that thing, and I'd throw it for 10 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and I wouldn't catch anything on it, and I'd set it back down, and I just could not figure out why I couldn't catch fish on it. In those 3 years, I got a bunch of followers, but never got a bite. Well, let's face it. I had too many rods in the boat. If I was catching fish, I didn't throw the swim bait. I would only pick it up if the conditions were already terrible. If you can't even catch a worm fish, what makes you think that a swim bait bite is suddenly going to turn on? I was throwing it for short periods of time during the worst possible times. So 1 rod on the boat. You make the commitment in your mind. Decide ahead of time. I'm going out there just to try this. I'm not going to catch fish. I'm just going to go spend a day on the lake, enjoy being out there, and see what this is all about. Then you won't be disappointed. And it may take 5 minutes. It may take 2 years for you to get that bite. And it doesn't matter. It's just getting out there and learning this thing. So video number 1, start with 1 rod on your boat, or 1 rod when you're going down the bank, with 1 bait. You don't need a bunch of baits. Keep that very, very simple too. I filmed a handful of videos about bait selection already. Go take a look at those, but just choose one bait for yourself, and that's it. So that you don't have to make decisions, you don't have to question yourself. You're just going to go out there and keep doing it over and over and over again until it works. Have a great day. We'll talk soon.